Hey guys, it's Amy with 804 Sycamore, and in this video I'm going to show you how I created a farmhouse riser. I like to use a riser for decoration in my kitchen, my bathroom, or even entertaining. They're just a really beautiful piece of decor to have, but they're also super functional. So for just $10, I made this riser and I'm really excited to show you. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and let's get going.
Okay, so I got my hobby wood from Hobby Lobby and it was 50% off, which helped this farmhouse riser to be only $10 because I already had the stain. So just go ahead and sand off any rough edges of your wood, including the little feet. And these feet are actually candlesticks. That's the purpose, but I think they're pretty cute feet. The next step is to measure your feet and figure out the center point. That's going to help you mark your drill spots on the back side of the bottom of your riser. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just didn't want the feet sticking out, and so I just took a quick second to measure and mark all 4 spots. And this is where I'm going to drill, and I just made sure my drill bit was smaller than my screw. Another thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to countersink. So first I just drilled my holes. A workbench is a good spot to do this, but I just put a support board and a cutting board to protect our table. And then once I drilled my holes, then I went and I added a countersink bit. And what a countersink bit does is it drills slightly down into the wood so that when you drill your screw, it doesn't bump out and it leaves the wood completely flush and flat so that we can add the top piece. After your base is done, now you're going to work on the feet. And I want to make sure I didn't drill all the way through the feet. I think I drilled through one by accident maybe, but we're just doing pilot holes, and this will just make the screw go straight into it, directly into it. It just quickens the job and it helps to not crack or split the wood. Here's the countersink bit I was talking about before. You're just going to want to go down a bit, not too far, and then as you can see, I will just guide my screw into the bottom of the base and then find the pre-drilled hole, line it up, and just attach it. And then the screw goes flush, it's nice and flat, and I'll be able to easily glue on my top board. This part was actually kind of fun because this was the part I wasn't sure how it was going to work. I had an idea and I was so thankful that it worked out super easy. I will link to all the different things that I used so that you can easily find them, including the length of these screws. And once all 4 feet are on, then you can just take wood glue. I didn't get too close to the edge because I didn't really want it squirting out. It's probably not the end of the world if it does, but just put a nice layer on there, and then make sure you take the price tag off of your riser board, put it on there, and then add clamps and let it dry for a day. And while you're waiting for that glue to dry, go ahead and string your beads. Now, my one regret was not using like a hemp string or something more significant, so that would be something I would change. And then you can go ahead and apply your first coat of stain. I only used 1 coat of stain. I used Farmhouse by Rove & Dwell. It's my absolute favorite. It's a nice warm natural, not too dark, not too light, no red, no yellow, and just give a nice even coat. I like to put the stain on and then really try to wipe it off with a sponge or staining sponge or cloth. You don't want any heavy drips, and you want it nice and smooth. And then of course, staining beads, there's probably an easier way, but this is how I did it, and I wasn't worried about perfection. I wasn't worried about staining every single angle and side because our next coat of stain kind of covers up any bits that I missed. Once your stain is dry, you can go ahead and glue down your wood beads. I glued one side at a time, and then I made sure each side was dry before doing the next. So here I am at the final and fourth side, and this is where you're going to tie it off. And I chose to tie it off on the side versus a corner. I thought it would be less conspicuous, and so it's not a perfect fit, but they settled down in there pretty well. So just push them down and make sure they are glued in. The next step is you're going to want to paint on an even layer of the whitewash stain, which I already did, and then let it sit for 3 minutes. I actually set a timer, and then after it kind of soaks in a bit, then you gently wipe off any of the residue like I am right now. I just used a disposable shop rag, and when it dries, it really softens the wood. My final step is polyurethane to protect it. I'm going to be using this riser in the kitchen primarily. It can be used in bathrooms or for serving, and so you want to make sure you're just protecting the beautiful stain job. So I apply a nice even layer, and then I wipe off the edges there. And here it is in the bathroom. One example, you can stack your different necessities. It just kind of lifts things up. It adds a decorative element, warms up the bathroom. And then, of course, I love it in the kitchen. It really adds more warmth with my cutting boards. And you can put your salt and pepper shaker, garlic, onions, plants, whatever you want, just to kind of style your kitchen a little bit and elevate it. I absolutely love how the whitewash dries. You can see, I do a little close up here, and you can see how it gets into the grooves, and it just adds that weathered, worn, aged look, which I love. And it just turned out beautifully. So I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment.